sunny day in late July and everything turned upside down. I almost lost track of time as weeks went by. I couldn't get him off my mind. I told him I want that great love, like standing in the middle of a bonfire. You don't know how you got there, but you hold tight, knowing that you can't get burned. Just tell me how we lost track of everything but each other. I honestly don't know. And tell me how we messed up, drifting away from each other. Didn't want to let you go. Cause we wanted different things and I have to deal with it, but it's not easy. So tell me how to let go, cause you really seem to know how to carry on your own.
I'd like to call the Planning Commission meeting to order. Welcome to the July 25th, 2023 Huntington Beach Planning Commission meeting. While the Planning Commission welcomes public involvement in free speech, it rejects comments from anyone that are discriminatory, defamatory, or otherwise not protected speech. Those comments will not inform nor be considered by the Planning Commission and may be cause for the chair to interrupt the speaker. Such comments will not be consented to or otherwise adopted by the Planning Commission in its discussions and findings for any matter tonight. Thank you. At this point, I would like to call on Commissioner Rodriguez. I was going to say Oscar. Commissioner Oscar to lead us in the pledge.
Please stand if you may. Begin.
Thank you. All right, can we have the roll call?
Yes, Commissioner Adam,
Present.
Commissioner Costa-Galvan,
Oh, here.
Vice Chair Twining,
Here.
Chair Pellman, Commissioner Kennedy,
Present.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Here.
Commissioner Wood.
Here.
We have a quorum, thank you.
Thank you. Now is the time for public comments for items that are not on the agenda this evening. Do we have any public comments?
We have no one signed up to speak on any items that are not on the agenda.
All right, that's great. Next, we have a public hearing item. It's a conditional use permit number 23-015, the Brant Live Entertainment. Planning Commissioners, please state your disclosures regarding this item. We'll start with Commissioner Ian.
Thank you. I have no disclosures.
No disclosures.
No disclosures.
No disclosures.
No disclosures.
No disclosures.
Staff, may we have the presentation, please?
Yes, Senior Planner Joanna Cortez will be giving the presentation for this item.
Good evening, Chairperson Twining and members of the Planning Commission. The item before you is located at 21058 Pacific Coast Highway. This is located within the Pacific City Commercial Center, specifically for the Brant Kitchen and Bar located on the second floor, right here facing Pacific Coast Highway. Today's CUP request is to permit live entertainment consisting of a disc jockey and live band within an existing 3,000 square foot restaurant. While they've requested this type of live entertainment, the applicant has disclosed that they are only intending on having an acoustic singer within the interior of the restaurant for live entertainment. Staff has reviewed, along planning staff and police department staff have reviewed the request and determined that the visitor serving use, which is what this property is located, it's located within our downtown specific plan, which caters to commercial serving, visitor serving uses. It complies and is consistent with the multi-tenant commercial shopping center. It's along a major arterial highway close to our beach. It'll be, the use that's being proposed today, the live entertainment request, will be ancillary to the restaurant. It's really to augment the dining experience for patrons there and will align with the diversity of restaurants and shops and entertainment uses that already exist at the Pacific City Commercial Center. As demonstrated in the previous slide, you can see that the proposed location is closest, it's right in the middle of the shopping center, closest to Pacific Coast Highway, and more than 500 feet from the nearest residential use to the north. So it's adequately separated and buffered by the existing buildings at the center. There's a parking lot, a street, landscaping, so it's pretty far away and it's facing Pacific Coast Highway. In terms of the live entertainment permit itself, again, police department has reviewed it along with planning staff, and we don't have any issues, and conditions have been provided, and they are suggested for you, regarding, in order to ensure that this use remains, it keeps the location a restaurant use, really. Again, the building is all oriented towards Pacific Coast Highway. Some of the conditions that have been proposed are seizing promotional drink specials after 7, signs posting areas for alcohol consumption, and adequate video surveillance. In addition, prior to the applicant submitting anything to staff, they were required to work with the police department and provide what's called an conceptual entertainment permit, which has been included as part of the attachments in the staff report. And that has additional conditions, conditions in addition to what's being proposed today. The police department reviews these permits, if approved, on a yearly basis, and depending on how the business operates, they'll add more conditions just to ensure that it operates properly. The live entertainment hours that are currently being proposed in the conceptual entertainment permit are as follows: 5 to 10 p.m. on Monday through Thursday, 5 to 11:30 p.m. Friday through Saturday, and 12 p.m. noon to 9 p.m. on Sundays. So with that, staff is recommending that the Planning Commission approve conditional use permit number 23-15 based on the fact that it's consistent with the general plan land use designation. It's compatible with the shopping center and the surrounding uses, with the suggested conditions, and compliant with the zoning provisions as well as the applicable provisions of the municipal code. It will still need to be compliant with the city's noise ordinance. Before I finish my presentation, I'd like to make a modification to condition number 2A. It currently limits the entertainment hours. However, we'd like to replace that with the condition that states that the applicant will need to comply with all conditions listed in their entertainment permit. As I mentioned, the police department reviews it on a yearly basis, and they can make stricter conditions, or they can make it more, they'll make it stricter, and they won't require the applicant to have to come on a yearly basis, pay the fee just to modify hours. That'll allow the police department, who would have the most knowledge, allow them to make those calls. And with that concludes staff's presentation. The applicant is here to answer any questions as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners, do you have any questions of the staff at this time?
I do.
Commissioner Kennedy.
Hello, staff. So I reviewed all the documentation. It seemed like everything fit inside the box. But you just did make a reference on the hours, but you didn't state, are they increasing them, reducing them? What is that hourly change?
The way our live entertainment permitting system works, it's really two-pronged. It's with the police department and through community development planning. So what's before you tonight is the conditional use permit. It's built in that they have to renew on an annual basis to have a checks and balance. So if they find that it's creating impacts on an annual basis, they can adjust those conditions. And what Joanna was suggesting is that we simply not prescribe the hours in the conditional use permit. Those will be actually memorialized in the entertainment permit, and that gives the planning commission, the police department, the ability to pull back on those in case there's any issues down the road.
Got it. But on the move forward today, it's based on what was stated in the documentation.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Commissioner Ian?
Thank you. What's the timing, if there's approval tonight, what's the timing of the police and how long would it, is this how much longer till if till it could go into effect?
I'm not sure exactly what the timing is, and perhaps the applicant has more information on that as they've been directly in contact with our police department representative. However, there is a 10-day appeal period, so that would have to still occur. And after that, if there's any items that need to be, adjustments that need to be made to the restaurant in order to allow this live entertainment, that will all have to be completed prior to the permit being issued. So it kind of depends.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Are there any questions from down there? Nope. Okay. Since it appears all speakers are done, we will now close well, wait a minute. If there's no further questions from us, do we have anyone signed up to speak?
We have no one currently signed up to speak.
Okay. Since there is no speakers, we will now close the public hearing. It's now time for the commissioners to deliberate. Is there any comments from the commissioners?
Yes.
Did you hit the button?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I will say that I have been to the restaurant a few times, and so far from what I've seen, it's a great place, good food, and I hope this entertainment helps them continue to thrive, and I'm looking forward to going there after it starts. Thank you.
Thank you. You want to talk again? Yes. I didn't show up on mine. Commissioner Kennedy, please.
Thank you, Commissioner Twining. I just want to make a couple of statements. As the other commissioner just stated, the goal is, when you fit inside this box nicely, is to support these businesses and ensure we can do everything possible within our parameters to give them the opportunity for success. Music is synergistic. It's going to give them the opportunity to grow that dining base, in my opinion, and it's so nicely tucked in here. The one thing I did want to say on behalf of potentially the applicant, the permit allows them up to 5. Now, I know they said we're going to keep it acoustic, but I hope that's not a condition of this, because me personally would be for approving up to 5, so they're not limiting themselves to that box, because they may want to bring in a trio. And I'm hoping that that's not a condition that they're putting forward in hopes of making it easier to support. I, for one, am going to be supporting this application based on the 5 maximum without the recommendation to minimize it. Is that language inside this or an amendment that they're trying to push through? Because I don't think it's needed, in my opinion.
The applicant had the foresight to permit more than they're actually programming. So while the entertainment is programmed to be just a single acoustic musician, this permit will allow them to have up to 5. So it'll give them the flexibility down the road.
Perfect. I just wanted to say that I believe that should stay. I was a little confused that maybe they were pushing to minimize it in hopes of increasing the probability of passing. I will be for this based on the 5 as the permit stands. So thank you for the answer.
Any more comments? Commissioner Rodriguez.
Yes, just wanted to say that I will also be supporting the conditional use permit. I think, live music attracts business to the restaurant, and not only to the restaurant, but surrounding restaurants in the area. I've been to Pacific City many times, enjoy eating there. I haven't been to the restaurant yet, but hopefully soon I will make myself available to go out there with family. So again, I'll be supporting it. I think it's great that we're adding this, and congratulations to the business in general, and looking to bring more business to Huntington Beach. I mean, that's the ultimate goal. So I'll be supporting it, and yep, thank you.
Anybody else? Commissioner Galvan?
Yeah, just to echo that, this seems very straightforward and a great way to support our businesses, so I'll be supporting as well.
And from the co-chair, I did have dinner there the other night, and loved the food, loved the atmosphere, and I was just, even though I already knew because I read the report, I was imagining where the acoustical guitar was going to be played, and I thought that was a great place, and I can't wait until it actually happens and I can go back there and listen to some nice music. So I too will be supporting this.
I got Yeah, I too will be supporting this, and I really appreciate your comment, Commissioner Kennedy, on the ability to have more than one. If there's a couple acoustic, I know several, 2 or 3 acoustic bands that are very, very perfect for that situation. I'm not a bookie, I don't get any money out of this, but it would be well suited. So yeah, I'll be supporting it and look forward to it.
Well, I think everybody has stated their support for that. So at this point in time, do we have a motion on this item?
I will motion approval of 23-634 conditional use permit number 23-015, the Brant Live Entertainment, to allow.
Do we
to
have a
allow
second?
what's in the permit.
I will second.
Shall we vote? It's not popping up on my screen here. Should we do it by voice vote? Oh, there it is. Okay, thank you.
We have all ayes. Chair Pellman is absent. Motion carries.
Thank you. All right, we're going to move on to the consent calendar.
Chair,
excuse me.
I'm sorry, Vice Chair Twining. I just have to read the appeal language for the record. I'm sorry.
Oh,
The decision by the Planning Commission is appealable to the City Council within 10 calendar days. An appeal must include reasons for such an appeal, any required fee, and shall be filed with the City of Huntington Beach City Clerk Office within the 10-day appeal period. Thank you.
okay. Next, we have the minutes on the consent calendar this evening. Are there any edits or comments?
And I should note, Commissioner Acosta-Galvan should abstain. I believe you're absent that day.
Okay, do we have a motion on this item?
I will make a motion to approve 23-638 approved Planning Commission minutes dated July 11th, 2023.
I'll second.
All right, can we have the vote?
We have 5 ayes. Commissioner Acosta-Galvan abstains. Chair Pellman is absent. Motion carries.
Thank you. Next, we have the non-public hearing items. It is the general plan conformance number 23-002, which references 302 3rd Street vacation. Staff may have a may we have a presentation, please?
Yes, and this is the Joanna show tonight, so Senior Planner Joanna Cortez will be presenting.
All right, thank you. This is for, this general plan conformance is for a property located at 302 3rd Street. This is an aerial view of the property. It's located on the northeast side corner of 3rd Street and Olive Avenue. And the request before you is to determine if the vacation of an approximately 46 square foot portion of the public right-of-way, the sidewalk right there, is in conformance with the goals and policies of the general plan. And right here, this yellow line right here kind of delineates the property as it exists right now. And if you pay attention to the corner, that little blue triangle is the 46 square feet that is requesting to be vacated tonight. And this would allow them to have improvements constructed, specifically a landscape planner in that area. Staff has reviewed it and determined that with this vacation, this 46 square foot portion of the existing right-of-way will not impair the public use of the sidewalk, and it'll comply with our coastal zone requirements in terms of it won't impede any type of public access to any of our coastal resources, and nor will it impede the city's ability to maintain any facilities in that area. It won't change the density of the property. The property is located within our downtown specific plan for residential, and it will not change the density with this if approved. And it won't impact the circulation system as it's not necessary for the provision of adequate right-of-way infrastructure. The sidewalk is a wider than normal sidewalk, and even with the vacation, it would still be sufficient to provide adequate access along the right-of-way, not only for the sidewalk, but also for the street for any future improvements. Public Works staff has also reviewed and determined that Once again, this excess right-of-way and that there's sufficient access to the surrounding residential uses. Therefore, staff is recommending that the Planning Commission adopt Resolution Number 728, recommending approval of the general plan conformance based on the fact that it's consistent with the general plan's land use goals and policies, and that the area to be vacated is not essential for the provision of right-of-way infrastructure, specifically pedestrian and vehicular access, and it will not reduce capacity of the surrounding streets or remove existing on-street parking in the coastal zone. This concludes staff's small presentation, and we're available for any questions.
Thank you, in case you couldn't hear me. Commissioners, any comments? We have one here.
Yeah, just a question on the plat map. There's a little triangular piece that is left over after the vacation. Is that piece new concrete by the applicant, or is it concrete that'll be saw cut around and remain?
Where it says A?
Right here is a visual representation of what's there right now. A portion of this planter is there. It's existing in that little sketched out area, the 46 square feet that you'll see in the plat map. And this is what it'll remain as. So as you can see right here, it'll remain as landscape planter right here, similar to what's been approved along 3rd Street.
So it looks like the concrete's already been filled in.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
I had a question.
Commissioner Adams?
So once, if that vacation is approved, does that 46 square feet go back on the property owner's tax bill? Where does that end up in the tax assessment?
It does revert back to the property owner.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. All right, so this is a non-public hearing item, and in such, it's now time for the commissioners to deliberate. Is there any other comments from the commissioners, or shall we just move to the vote?
One comment.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, the applicants have taken their time to come down here. I would just like to say, if life could only be this easy, two different initiatives today that fit perfectly inside a box with no really negative counterbalance at all to consider. So with that, it's, as they say, it's a no-brainer from my position to be approving this, and very simple yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Kennedy. Appreciate that. Anybody else?
I had one. I just wanted to say I'm very jealous. It's a beautiful design, and very, very well done.
All right. Well, if everybody's done asking their questions, would anybody like to make a motion to approve this? Come on, don't all jump.
I'll do a hat trick tonight. Make a motion to approve 23-625 general plan conformance number 23-002, 302 3rd Street vacation.
I'll second that motion.
You missed it. All right. Shall we vote?
We have all ayes. Chair Pellman is absent. Motion carries.
Thank you. Planning items. Next on the agenda are planning items. Can staff please provide a report?
I just wanted to give an update. We do have a regularly scheduled meeting on August 8th. However, at this time, we're not anticipating any items. So while we should adjourn to the 8th, we anticipate we'll be canceling that meeting. That said, we do have items that are tracking to go to the second meeting in August, so we should all anticipate a meeting being held that night. And that's all I have this evening.
Excellent. Before we close for the evening, planning commissioners, do you have any comments to provide? We'll start with Commissioner Adams.
No, I don't have anything to add tonight. Thank you.
Commissioner Kennedy.
I'd like to congratulate Ms. Villaseñor as one leader steps away as she fills this position, whether it's interim or permanent. Good luck to you. You deserve that.
Ditto from this seat.
I will echo that as well.
Me too.
Me too.
Well, that's the last item on the agenda, and I think we did pretty good here tonight. Me for the very first time. You probably won't see me up here for a long time. Hopefully, Commissioner Pellman will be back, Chairman Pellman will be back, and I can return to my seat over there and say nothing. Appreciate it. Everybody have a good evening, good week, and we'll see you next time. Meeting adjourned.